Good morning, everybody. It's 15:17 a.m., February 1st, Eastern Standard Time, 2020. Okay, 1575.50. 1575.50. See how easy that was to find today, people? Those are the market makers trades. Most of you are on my channel already. You know what that means. People are curious what this channel is all about. You have to go back to the previous videos and see what's going on. It's getting tiring to keep explaining this over and over. Stop. 71.53. Of course, there'll be people, you were wrong. I wasn't here checking it every hour. If you would have been checking it every hour, you would have been able to tell me that we're bringing the market up. To actually predict this market, you got to constantly do these two formulas. Okay. I guess some people don't understand the concept of this. They're looking for every excuse to disprove it. Because it kind of so we're 6 cents out. We're slightly on the offset by about 15%. This is exactly the same 15% we woke up to yesterday. I can't tell you where the price is going to go up or down, but if you monitor it, you'll be able to tell. You have to do this formula every hour. I have some strange accounts just popping up that have no subscribers, and they asked me today, who do you think's involved in this? Sounds like it could either be somebody fishing for information to see if it indicates, if it points to them. But I'll explain to everything when I did my investigation, which is clearly there. It definitely involves the market maker. That's a given, because his trades are not actually equidistant, and they're being used to leverage the mid-market price. So that's 100% right there. Second party involved would have to be the exchange itself, because I think I gave more than adequate proof. The proof this was going on against their internal policies. And I could easily, they could have just easily checked this math and found that I was telling the truth. Instead, when I filed a complaint with the New York Department of Financial Services, while they claimed they would do an investigation and the price was pegged for weeks at a time to the mid-market price, we were doing an investigation that maybe checked it once or twice a day, and we rarely ever had it pegged to the mid-market price as they claim. So to me, I would say, so far, the evidence points to the market maker and Coinbase Pro so far, due to their making up stuff without realizing we were running a parallel investigation at the same time they were investigating, and somehow their investigation exonerated themselves, and the parallel investigation we were running on the outside of the exchange showed quite the opposite. Also, we figured that quite possibly at the time that the exchange didn't know, Charlie Lee didn't know, Ryan Armstrong didn't know. Everybody involved was a victim of the market maker. And we went one by the line. Hey, you guys know your market makers manipulating the order book in order to manipulate the mid-market price. And I actually spoke to, I don't know if you guys know who this is, Adam White. He was the former CEO of Coinbase Pro. He was in charge of the trading platform. He didn't own the company, but they put him in charge. Him and somebody else. I spoke to Adam, and about 2 weeks later, Adam quit Coinbase Pro and went to bot. So here you have now is a competitor that knows this is going on, and it is tough competition to make a dollar more than your competitor. Knowing the cutthroat attitude in business, he's going to use that against Coinbase Pro. Not only that, 6 months later, the person that replaced Adam White also left. Okay, he's gone. So Coinbase is basically an exchange that has a disability. Its market maker is manipulating the market openly. It can be proven by math. The next set of people, we question anybody we can get a hold of to question. Now, I tweeted Charlie Lee. Charlie, can you look at this? Because I believe this market maker is using the coin that you created as a vehicle to defraud other investors out of their capital. I was immediately blocked to tweeting to Charlie's channel anymore. Charlie himself blocked. So right there goes another unusual activity. No denial, no looking into it, no answers, nothing. Just bang, closed off. So that to me is highly suspicious to me. Okay, I got a very funny feeling about that reaction. It's unusual because you're not acting like a victim yourself. You're acting like a perpetrator. If you're a victim of the same crime, oh wow, let me see it. Let me verify what you say to be true. Oh wow, it's true. Which is undeniable. It is true. He's manipulating the market. He should have been very concerned about this. No, it was the exact opposite. To me, it looks like he might have. It appears to me, in my opinion, he has foreknowledge that this is going on. Same thing with Coinbase Pro. They have foreknowledge this is going on. Then I went to I just said, okay, who can I talk to readily available that works on the Litecoin Foundation? And I was already subscribed to Crypto Capital Venture, and I did not. And then I'm okay. Let's see LTC Foundation has a list of people who actually work with them with photos. Let me look at that. And I was like, wait a minute, that's Dan Gambardella. I'm ready to subscribe to him. So what I did is I took the time to say, you know what? Let me go out to the community in general for Litecoin and ask the same questions I'm going to ask Dan to a whole slew of other people. Okay. Now my list, I sent it to Dan. I sent it to Chico Crypto. I sent it to Omar Crypto. I sent it to JSnap. I sent it to Robo Ruda, and I sent it to Bitcoin Ben, and maybe a few others. The only one on the Litecoin side to reply was Dan Gambardella. I said, knowing this fact that this market is manipulated, how come you're putting up videos that Litecoin's going to go to 1,000? The first thing I was met with was a scolding reply. I never said that. You're a liar. You're 100% lying. And the only 100% he should be worried about is the 100% difference in equidistance of the market maker's trades in the order book, because he's manipulating the order book. So I said, okay, Dan, look, you may have physically not opened your mouth and echoed those words with your own vocal cords, but here it is on the thumbnail on one of your videos, and I have copies of those videos. And if you click on those videos, and you look down in the left side corner where you see the text, it states it clearly. Okay, so whether you stated it out of your mouth or you stated it on a statement on the internet by typing it in, You have stated those fact. It is factual that you stated that. There's no way around it. There's no way out. So I immediately started to get suspicious because he was, on one sense, working on the marketing team for Litecoin, and in the other sense, he was putting up these videos, knowing full well that the math that I presented proves that the market maker was manipulating the market. And of course, he went into a hiatus, disappeared, because when I stated that, and people went back and I said, don't be accusatory. Go over there and do the math first. I insisted on that. And a lot of people went and did the math. And Crypto Chico has evaluated this. And Crypto Omar turned around and said, you know what? You're absolutely right. This needs to be exposed. And he's a more prominent YouTuber in the crypto field than Dan will ever be. Now, I don't know what happened to Dan. He might be emotionally off-ended or something. Uh, Quite recently, in the past few days, what happened was we had a person come in on under the after I posted this on Twitter to warn people so they don't get taken the fool. They don't buy a bridge in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they came in under the guise that they were going to help me because he had more viewers than me on Twitter, and I don't know what that meant. My response was, well, yeah, well, thanks. Well, it is. He's like, this is really what did he say? His name was Rob Day. Wow, this is really insane, or something like that. I said, isn't it? It's crazy, right? That's what I said. I didn't ask him for any viewers or any help with any of that stuff. But then he came around and said, well, you can't say this stuff about Dan. Now, and then we got in an argument, and then some of the people who follow him came in and started attacking my channel. Well, that ended quite quickly. A couple of days, I ended it. I honestly tried to talk some sense into them. And I said, hey, look, whether Dan has wittingly or unwittingly uh, taken part, he should be warned. And he should be in the process now to protect himself, which he did exact opposite. He indicated himself with his attack. He should have said, I didn't know, I apologize. I'll cease all that activity. Show me where it is. Explain it to me. You're making an accusation. Okay, open it up and explain it to me. Let me take a look. And then based on that, realizing the severeness of what's going on. I don't think they realize the severeness that there's an active investigation going on in several agencies, and I have whistleblower status. I'm actually their witness when this comes to a close, and it comes down to their day in court. These people will meet me in the flesh, and I don't know how what their lawyer is going to say to me. Uh, every question is going to be, well, did you have an ulterior motive? Please check the math. Do you had an argument with this one? Please check the math. That's the only answer you're going to get from me. Okay? We're not talking about my character. Please check the math. That's going to be my whole thing. Please check the math. That's all they have to say. And as soon as they say something else, stop badgering the witness. You didn't like this person. You accused this person and that. I could say I suspected this person being involved because when I actually didn't accuse him of nothing, I actually said, please check this before you make statements like this. You got to realize what's going on, and you have to realize what you're getting yourself into. I'm saying protect yourself. I even reached out to these guys that attacked me and said, hey, look, guys, I mean, maybe you're sitting here and you're thinking it's all fun and games, and you believe your friend. Okay, here goes all the info. Take a look at it. And then maybe you can question your friend and say, hey, recommend to them, if you have any brains, recommend to them, hey, there is something funny going on. Maybe we should back off this guy. And maybe probably help the community at large by actually asking some questions ourselves. They could have asked me more questions. How did you find this? How do you do that? How did you come up with these formulas? I openly put videos up showing them all that stuff. They chose to ignore it because the intent of this appearance in the comments field, it was an attempt to get me shut down. It's very obvious. You would have to be. I guess they just say, how could he know that? Well, these days, people's perspective, which comes from their frontal lobe, it's very undeveloped. You actually don't have to have a higher IQ than somebody to actually have a better perspective. I don't think they'll have any idea what that means either. You just happen to be more aware of what's going on around you in your environment. It will actually make you survive better than the person that on paper is supposedly smarter than you. It's called environmental intelligence. So I don't know. I don't understand um, why these people would come here and attack me for exposing this. And then you say, oh, then you start looking into their backwards. Oh, wow, you just openly told me on the comments field you knew Dan for 2 years. And then on cue, as I'm talking, Dan appears in my comments field from Crypto Capital Venture. And he goes, oh, you're 100% liar. Uh, here's the math, Dan. You know, I'll explain to you how the market maker is supposed to work, how he posts his trades in there so they wash each other out. They have to be equally distanced. I went through the whole spiel explaining to him the order book dynamics of the market maker, how he's supposed to enter that book. And yet here I can prove that he's not doing that, and he's leveraging the price up and down, that I can actually track it now. And all you could say is I'm a liar because you claim you did not actually say it in your video, but I can go and see the statement on your thumbnails. I don't get it. That's a weak case. If and some of them, maybe in about a week or so, I'm gonna have a few people. I have a few people, some that work for Skadden Arps, J.P. Morgan, uh, Bremen. If you know that firm, that's in New York. I have a relative that works there. Uh, she works in Wall Street too. And I actually showed this to her yesterday on my Facebook channel, and she was like, "This is fucking crazy." That's her exact comments. She goes, "This is out of, these guys are out of line." So you uncovered this and they attack you. She was like, you know, don't look at the message, attack the messenger type of attitude that they have. And then again, I see these little comments come in on these new accounts. You look at them; they've been open for 5 hours, and then they ask you, "Well, who do you think's involved?" Well, it's not really who do I think is involved. You should worry about. It's the agencies that are investigated. When they come up to what their own conclusion, why don't you call them and ask them who do they think is involved? Ask them. I don't know that. All I know is that I hold the key evidence that this is moving, and they're gonna go find the rest. And then these idiots come on here with Dan, who is they got an eyeball on him too, and these guys join him, and then you find out this guy is like that Litecoin community. He's one of the top tier uh, members of the Litecoin community. So you look at it and you're like, why would you even come here and try to pull like that amateurish stunt like that? I don't get it. I don't get it. So these guys, they're they're well on their way to get it. Right now, the scope of the investigation just got a little bit bigger. So right now, someplace in some office, probably working late at night Friday, they added a few more names. This guy's connected to this guy. This guy's connected to this guy, and that's what they're gonna do. And sooner or later, the they're going over the financial records, And if you think they can't trace you on these everything you state on these channels, there's a record of. Okay, so if I say he received, no matter if he took the video down or not, these guys are going to go to YouTube with a subpoena and say, we want the records for this person. So, oh, well, he erased it, but here it is. He did receive X from X. So it's just a matter of that. The case. First of all, I checked. The case is still open. They when I called them up, they asked me for an update, and I gave them the update of all of this stuff that we went through. So they were very interested. These, you know, you would think they would just simply go undercover, stop making comments, change their behaviors that stick out like a sore thumb. You know, if the market maker wants to keep doing what he's doing, fine. Find an excuse. You know, go under the rug. You know, hide out for a while. That's all I can tell you. Just stop making stupid comments, because the more you keep attacking this channel, the more you're gonna be noticed. It's like if you jump up and down and scream in a calm crowd, everybody in the crowd's gonna notice you. It's not gonna make no sense to these people. I honestly, let them keep doing what they're doing, and then the day you're gonna see that, that day when they're sitting up there and they got that little tear coming out of their eye. Oh, now you want everybody to be nice to you. It always happens that way. It's sad. So again, the market is being manipulated, even if it's going up, even if it's going down. I would say don't buy on an uptrend, because that's shooting yourself in the foot. You're going to feel you missed out, but that's how the whole thing works. You procrastinate, and then you're going to buy at the top, and then they're going to, when they see the figures where there's a lot of people bought in at X, then they're going to pull the rug out from underneath your feet. Don't be a victim. Now let's go back and check this. You see the 4 hours still hasn't hit the bottom yet, people. We still don't have a 4-hour confirmation. You see? It's what goes up must come down. I don't know how far they're going to drive it up. This market is so manipulated, dudes. It's so manipulated. You can't trust it. You have to follow the market maker. And the way it looks now, we might end down at $65. Between $65 and $68. Because, why? Because that's what he likes to do. So please be careful. This is spreading on Twitter, but then I'm getting some inquiries. Who do you think did it? Who do you think's involved on an account that hasn't existed for more than 5 hours? I could tell you I know definitely one person, the market maker firm, a person, that's definite. And I could see other ones that are highly probable on the list. And you know what? I really can't tell you that, because I'm not the one running the investigation. I just found the numbers. Some of the stuff that I found out puts people on the high probability list. But like I said, I'm not going to second guess the professional the ones who can go deeper than I am. So I'm going to let them do their job. All I could say is I see suspicious activity based on my previous market experience of people marketing stuff without taking consideration of what's going on in their order books. You present it to them, and instead of actually taking the time to investigate this themselves, so they don't get implicated in a crime they may not have any knowledge of. They turn around and attack you. So to me, that's suspicious activity right there. So basically, that's why I did it for. So if you guys can't understand why you call going after crypto capital venture not cool, I specifically did that to see the kind of reaction I would get out of him, whether it was positive or negative. And the positive side would have implicated that he was not involved, and the negative side would say, yes, he is. You could take a guess which side he came from. And same thing with Rob D. I think the other people are just hangers on to Rob D's channel that couldn't figure out their way out of a wet paper bag. They have a hard time knowing how to operate a toilet bowl. So that's it, people. That's my morning report so far over the drama. And let's go over the numbers again. Let's see if we can get some clarification. I can help people. There's the old calculator again. His trades should be around 1,500. He's been stuck on that number for some reason. 1576. Oh, at the beginning of the video, I found them and I did the number. But talking to you guys, 1576. It's probably this buried in here. Yeah, it's probably. So let's run the numbers off that. If I'm wrong, you guys should have learned enough right to correct it. 45 cents. And 70.05. Let's do that over. It's early in the morning, guys. Forgive me. I'm like, blah. I don't even have coffee yet. So take out the two middle ones. We got 45 cents and 59 cents. It's been rigged to go down. It's that easy. And if it wasn't rigged, it'd be equidistant. That's how simple it is. So, what else am I supposed to do? Sit and wait, watch the fireworks. You know, I wonder, now this has been exposed, and you see all these people like the lesser guys running cover for the upper guys. Let's see if we see any of these people try to disappear. But if this blows up, it's going to be international. Anywhere that this exchange is, whatever country they go to and this exchange exists, there'll probably be a warrant out for their arrest. All right, people, you have a good day. Be careful. Don't let these guys rob you.